In this video, we're going to be talking specifically about the brand new officer swap event coming in Warpath, and I am going to give you guys some tips to hopefully help you maximize this event, and it might be something that you either have or maybe you have not thought about. So stick around and find out. Welcome back, guys. I hope everybody is doing well. We're going to be taking a look specifically at the brand new officer swap event. We're going to take a look at the rules that are in place for this event, and also I'm going to give you some suggestions and tips to help you maximize this event, especially if you are a veteran player. All right, so jumping right in, taking a look at the overview of this officer swap. Number one, officer swap is a one-time event and the swap results are irreversible. Number two, you have a total of 3 swaps, 2 for regular officers and 1 for exclusive officers, officers from exclusive lounge. Number 3, during this event, only the levels and skill levels of the selected officers will be swapped. Officer statues in your supplies will remain unaffected. Each officer can only be swapped once. Number 4, locked officers are eligible for swap and will be automatically unlocked once the swap is complete. Number 5, it costs swap vouchers to complete a swap. The greater the progress difference between the selected officers, the more swap vouchers you need. A, the base cost for each swap is 5 swap vouchers. Swapping a locked exclusive officer costs an additional 10 swap vouchers, while swapping a locked regular officer has no extra cost. B, exclusive officer swap cost equals base cost plus 100% of the difference in used officer statues plus unlock cost if applicable. C, regular officer swap equals the base cost plus 20% of the difference in used officer statues plus unlock cost if applicable. Number 6, officers who cannot be swapped will not appear on the selection page. Swap is unavailable in the following cases. A, both officers have the same unlocked skill slots and skill levels, or both officers are locked. B, Adjutant Percy, Marco Rossi, and Eri Kazumoto are not available for officer swap. And C, selected officers have already been swapped. Number 7, officers in combat cannot be swapped. 8, swap voucher sources purchase with gold, officer swap gift, officer swapped special, and officer swap pass. At the end of the event, any unused swap vouchers will be converted into other items. So that is the overview and the rule set or guidelines of this officer swap event. All right, so now let's jump into our officers and actually talk about a strategy or a method that you can take. This is a method that I am considering looking at doing here, and this is geared primarily towards veteran players. Those of you that have been playing this game for a very long time, like myself, who were in the game when there was only Generation 1 officers, there was no Gen 2, no Gen 3, or beyond, and we just had our set of base standard officers, and that's all we had, so that's what we invested in. And now, obviously, it's no secret, the newer officers are just head and shoulders above most of the standard kind of Gen 1 early game officers that you're having access to. So here is what I would at least consider doing. So if you're like me and you have pretty much all of the Generation 1, at least the very, very, very early Generation 1 officers, I'm not talking about some of the ones that have been added, kind of later game, but talking about the very early game Gen 1 officers, think like Sergeant Spanner, Bloody Mary, and White Wolf. Those are officers that most of us have fully invested and awakened way, way, way back in the day. They serve us little to no good now, so we can use that to our benefit. Now, we only have 3 officer swaps, right? So keep that in mind. 1 of them being exclusive, 2 of them being standard or regular. So we've got 3 officers here, and we can only really swap 2 of them since they are the 3 I just mentioned are all regular officers. But what you can do, because they're not really that beneficial, so we'll take Sergeant Spanner, for example. You're going to get his statues passively through officer missions, daily officer missions, right? So what I would consider doing is swapping Sergeant Spanner for another updated, newer generation regular officer, because you're going to get his statues back passively for or through the daily officer missions. At least from my understanding and based on the rules that we just read, there is no exclusion for this. So it's I want to use the word exploit loosely here, because it's not an exploit. You're not doing anything wrong in the game, but you're just swapping an officer for an officer. But the officer that you're giving up is also an officer that you're going to be able to get back for entirely free. Not that you're ever going to use them anyway, right? It's not that these officers are going to be used again, at least more than likely not. But you can at least still have the benefit of having them completely awakened just by passively collecting their statues doing daily missions. But you're still going to get the benefit of unlocking the newer officers. So for me, I'm going to definitely be taking a look at Spanner and probably Bloody Mary. You could really use pick 2 out of those 3. You could even do like War Machine. I probably wouldn't, again, just because you can get his statues from the Alliance store. So you can build him back up passively too. So you could always swap him out. But the reason I say probably not is because, it really just depends on the stage of the game you're in. But he does have some serviceability in the early, especially in mid stage of the game. And also his 4th skill here has some value, at every stage of the game. But yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a good event. Obviously there's going to be a paid aspect to it, really. But I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities here. Let me know in the comments what your approach is, what your strategy is, if you have one, which officers you're thinking about giving up, and which officers you are going to try to obtain. If you have stuck around and made it this far into the video, if you are not already in my community Discord server, the link to that is going to be in the description of the video below. Click on that link. It will take you right into the community Discord server. Whether you are a new player or a veteran player, it doesn't matter. Absolutely everybody is welcome. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch the video today, and we'll see you on the next one.